we saw Avengers Infinity, which basically finds us in the Marvel Universe in relative peace, I suppose. You know, all our heroes kind of scattered, doing their own thing, even thinking about starting new lives and stuff like this. But little do they know, Thanos is back. Thanos from the first one, who sent Loki, I think, to, you know, try to take over the Earth in the original Avengers. He's back, and he's chasing down the 6 Infinity Stones, which were birthed out of the Big Bang, and if brought together, give ultimate power.
I don't know what you're talking about already. I just watched it.
This man did his homework.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I didn't know if Thanos.
Yes.
Thanos was in the other ones.
Yeah. He was like a character. He wasn't like a big part of the story.
He was mostly a teaser. You know, like
Yeah.
they teased his presence in the first, Avengers.
Yeah, so he's trying to collect all the stones, and if you think it's going to only take one Avenger to stop him, and you think infinity means that it's not going to be an epic war, then you just don't know the meaning of definitions. Check out this trailer, see what I mean.
So this is it. It's all been leading to this. Ready? Let's go.
All right, fresh out, non-spoiler time. Not going to give anything away, as excited as we are to kind of give some things away. But yeah, fellas, general impressions. What did you guys think? Meet expectations?
Let's go with our guest, Mike.
Yeah, Mike, you want to start us off?
You know, I have to say I'm mixed. I mean, I think that Marvel, Kevin Feige and those guys, they did not hold back. I mean, I think a lot of the lead up to this, people have been saying that carnage, and they delivered. I mean, obviously no spoilers, but you're gonna expect some deaths. But wow, I don't know that you could really prepare yourself for what you're about to see. Really, so I kind of applaud them in a lot of ways for being brave enough to sort of do the things that they did in order to tell the story the right way. Of course, it's all the lead in and the setup into the next installment, which remains nameless at this point, just called Avengers 4. But it's going to be, it's just. My daughter who came to see this, she's all like, I'm not getting out of this seat until Avengers 4 comes out. So I was like, yeah, I kind of feel that.
Yeah, I believe it. And so as a comic book reader, you do feel like they did the story justice. The stories that you were kind of expecting.
It was really actually not what I expected from the story. Like I said, it wasn't really. I don't know that it follows closely sort of what the comics do, but sort of staying true to I think the arc that they've been telling with with all the 18 Marvel movies up to date, right, and all the stuff that's been leading up to this.
It's a lot of leotard.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's a lot of skivvies, and I think they really delivered kind of on what they said they were going to deliver. There's a lot of things that occur during the movie that I have a lot of questions on. I hope that they're resolved.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe when we get to the spoiler part, but it's. It gives you a ton to really sort of think about sort of why this happened and why this didn't happen, and all these kind of things. So,
but a definite recommend. You would certainly recommend it to your fellow MCU fans.
Yeah, this is required watching for anybody who is at all following the MCU.
Well, that might be the obvious question. How about this? Is it required watching in the movie theater? Do you think people need to run out and see this in movie theater? Can they wait till Netflix or whatever? Any thoughts on that one? If you're a fan, obviously you're watching.
Yeah, if you're a fan, you're coming out. I think that it is sort of so kind of epic in its scope, and one of the really cool things about being in the kind of opening night, right? People are more kind of into it. So, you heard a lot of cheering, a lot of booing, like the crowd was really, kind of into it, sort of like at certain crescendo moments, the crowd really got into it, which I really
bad guy
kinda,
bloodlust.
yeah,
bad guys die.
I love that kind of energy. I think it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
So,
opening night's always fun.
Yeah, opening night's really
Especially
fun.
when the guy sitting next to you is wearing a plastic Iron Man mask.
You had that?
Yeah.
I saw that guy. Yeah, I saw that guy. That was pretty funny. The costumes were held at a reasonable clip, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that this is definitely worth the price of admission, because I think it really sort of does deliver on its promise, and the Marvel movies have really, I think the quality of them have really improved, from the first Iron Man, the first series up until the most recent, which was like Ragnarok, as well as Black Panther, like the two most recent ones.
Nice.
What'd you think?
I enjoyed it. Yeah, as far as these Marvel superhero movies go. Again, kind of like what he said, I kind of thought they were starting to get a little formulaic with some of just the concepts and sets of circumstances that the Avengers were kind of in the first two, and they I think they improved upon that with this one. They made the sequences a little more dynamic, like kind of what was going on, the story and the plot was a little more dynamic. I thought the fight sequences were pretty well done. I mean, there were some intense battles, and it kind of drug in the middle for a little bit. There was like a lot of exposition and explanation, and a lot of drama, which I can appreciate to a certain extent. Kind of trying to inject like an emotional quality to an action superhero movie, but man, once they got over like that part, it was just like all systems go. Like nonstop, like battle sequence after battle sequence, one place to another, and
Mike was all like Hulk smash like, the whole time.
That's right. I was like, just wreck it.
No lines, but no dialogue.
Let me ask you guys a question though.
What's that?
What'd you think of the humor? Like, how'd you think? Like,
really funny.
Yeah,
it was really funny. I was actually very surprised.
Yeah. No, they've always been pretty good. That's the part they've been pretty effective with. I think just in moments like injecting some levity and good humor, and they don't overdo it. They don't try to make
It wasn't forced.
It wasn't forced.
It was all really good writing.
Like I said, this one had a darkness and heaviness to it that like I kind of appreciated. I don't like it when it gets kind of a little too feel goody and fluffy. And, it just kind of lowers the stakes for me a little bit. But the battle sequences are great. You can actually see them. I hate that in action movies when they're kind of like dark and muddled, and you can't even really see the fighting too well. But dang, CGI is just getting incredible. And then when you watch the credits and see like a 2-hour scroll of names, you can kind of appreciate probably why that might be the case. There's just so many like people working on these things. But I enjoyed it. I didn't have a lot of expectation going into it, and I had a blast. And of course, going and seeing it with just like rabid fans on opening night is you can't really beat it. So what about you?
Major respect.
Major
respect. Yeah.
Awesome.
I was really surprised by it, but I haven't. Obviously, you probably realized I haven't watched many of these movies. I think Logan was like the last superhero movie I watched.
Okay.
That's super.
We did watch that one together. That's a superhero.
Yeah, because that was real quiet.
I think that was a sequel to Silence of the Lambs. I believe it took it a weird direction.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of the Wolverine movie that that we deserved. Because you had to do. It was the only Wolverine movie that was rated R, right?
Yes.
And
I mean, it's the only superhero movie rated R, I believe.
Is it?
I mean, I don't even think those Christopher Nolan Batmans are rated R, which is a whole other conversation, because I feel like it's crazy what they can get away with PG-13 these days. When I was a kid,
fair enough.
It was like The Gremlins was PG-13 when I was a kid, and that would be like
that's right.
An opening short for like The Incredibles today or something. But so you as not a big superhero movie buff, you had fun.
Oh, I had a lot of fun. Yeah. super complex movie, like that could have been just a huge mess. I thought for that many characters and that many storylines, unbelievable that they kept it together like that.
Yeah, I think it's a real testament to sort of how planned, how much planning goes into it, and like it's like a lot of egos I think could kind of bubble to the surface, right?
Yeah.
But they really sort of kept the story tight, and the particular players had their roles and sort of executed them well, and it's just really good job.
And that challenge was even heightened in this one with the addition of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
That's in the previews. Don't get mad, but. So they brought in like a whole slew of like not just a couple characters, but there's like 4 or 5 of those guys who are now added to the mix that they kind of have to include in like screen time and story.
Yeah.
Addition.
Yeah, and I forget the count. I mean, it's I think it's something like 20 characters or something like that.
Look in the poster.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
It's a bunch.
yeah, even the black. You have a number of the Black
This
Panther
movie is about
characters.
all these
Yeah.
people, all of them. It's like Marvel's Schindler's List or something. But
It's definitely more than the Brady Bunch.
they were pretty effective at not. Yeah, I mean, it kind of giving everybody, their due and their credence, for the most part. I mean, there were definitely probably a couple that were kind of afterthoughts to a certain extent. We can get into that into the spoilers maybe.
Yeah.
But
All right.
but anyways, yeah.
Spoiler time.
Spoiler time. Cool. Thanks for
Yeah,
watching the non-spoiler video, folks.
Thank you.
Definitely feel free to like and subscribe if you're up for it. Much obliged.
Thanks.